Oobla Lotuk friends, and you are our friends. Welcome back to Trekking the Future. As always, I'm Joshua Hadley, and I'm joined by Lord Justin Belanger of the Principality of Sealand.
Hello, hi, how are
Actually,
you all doing? Yeah,
do you think I'm saying that right? I mean, of your, you've never been to Sealand yet, as far as I know.
true, but I am a lord of the place, even though I haven't actually been to the place. But that's just
So,
how things go
should I?
sometimes.
I forgot to put Discord on mute. Can you believe that? In 2025.
2025. Oh, uh, thing I forgot to mention last week. I've had some unfortunate dog related news over the past couple shows, but I had good news last week, and I forgot to mention it. I got a new pupper. So got a new
Right?
little 3 month old doggo, little pupper. She is a what the hell's it called? A
Dog?
Pugshire, I believe.
Uh, oh
A
wow.
pug mixed with a Yorkshire Terrier, and she is very energetic. So
Oh wow. That's
little black
awesome.
dog, a lot of biting, playful biting, but a lot of biting. But yeah, very excited dog. Keeps trying to put any treats that it gets in the cat's litter box for some reason. So, you know, we're dealing with that. But yeah, I got a doggo, little
Have you
pupper.
named her yet?
I don't know if we have a name for it yet.
What? What?
I've just been like anytime I see her, I'm just like, here, come here, and that's it. That's so maybe her name is
Oh,
could be.
that's funny. Well, that's really exciting news, and I been enjoying a lot of time with my own puppy. I've been trying to walk him 5 miles a day. What I've been trying to do is walk him 2 hours a day, and
Mm,
we've been I've been tracking it, and we've been getting around 5 miles a day. If you're on the Gopher and Tuck Discord, I've been posting
yeah,
pictures of my
yes,
morning walks with him.
he has been doing such a thing. This big
And
old
today
doggo.
was really exciting. We went out early before the podcast because typically when we do Trek in the Future, he'll be outside my door complaining, and my parents will say, "Oh, like take him outside, like
Yeah,
I'm doing this thing." So I
nah.
walked him early today, and we saw some seals. The ice
Oh
is
damn.
flowing out here in Kotzebue, and it's gonna be gone soon.
Seen some seals. Oh man. Uh, my puppy. Uh, so we have a Chihuahua. That one is not a puppy. That one is a very full-grown dog. She does not like the puppy, so that's a little bit of an issue. Our cat does. Our cat likes the puppy. Chihuahua, Susie, not so much. Not a
Well,
fan.
the puppy puts the some treats in the litter box for Kitty, right?
True. Um, so we got a little interesting dynamic going on there. A lot of growling
So
from the Chihuahua.
I see. So we're here today to talk about the Star Trek Strange New Worlds episode, those old scientists, and
So
yeah,
I'm just gonna say it right now. I believe this is my favorite episode of the season so far.
this is my favorite Star Trek episode so far yet.
You know, it's very it's a very fun episode. So we mentioned at the end, like we looked at a preview for this episode, and I saw Jack Quaid, and I was excited about him being here. I didn't realize he was a voice actor for the animated series. I didn't know that, so I didn't know that that was what this character was going to be. I was very confused when the episode started because it was animated. I'm like, did I
Yeah.
go to the wrong show? But then it was a crossover, so that was fun. Um, I'm excited to when we finally get to that show now because we know some of the characters a little bit now and I'm enjoying them. And yeah, it was just a very fun episode, and I like Jack Quaid.
And yeah, I really
Also, also the girl who also time travels, she is very correct. Uh, Spock is hot.
yeah, absolutely. I really liked when Bradford, when he was talking to Pike to convince him not to shoot the Orion ship, saying how he was giving him some very violent language, talking about how great his hair was and how he was this great diplomat. Didn't speak with ongoing regard, but whatever.
I I really liked they took the trope of like with time travel you're not supposed to do anything small because it could change the future, butterfly effect thing. They kind of like made jokes about that here. Really enjoyed that. Like when the two girls like he told them about Pike's birthday and they're like how do you know
Oh
about
yeah.
Pike's birthday and it's because of the future. It's like oh you should have told us that. Nah it's fine. Yeah.
It was
So
funny. I watched this with Nigruk, your kitty, on the
yeah.
Discord server. Um, and
My kitty.
it was funny the way he reacted to Spock being happy and saying it was creepy. I think that's what they're going for
Yeah.
before, but yeah, Bradford thought that because Spock was acting very human, that him coming back in time has changed Spock's behavior, which
Yeah.
obviously,
Yeah.
if you were watching this show, it's not. But
Yeah.
yeah, he was. That was very funny
Yeah.
too.
Fun times were had.
Fun times, and another fun thing was I mean, it was a crossover episode. Nigruk was saying your kitty. Oh, since people are watching this or interact with them online, probably will go with your kitty. Um, yeah, he mentioned that I was telling him this is my favorite Star Trek episode we've seen yet. We did binge Lower Decks 2 weeks ago and last weekend. I did feel kind of naughty because like typically I watch Star Trek with Gopher, but um, I just been having an itch.
Yeah. Oh, it's itchy. It's itchy.
So like yeah, watching that show was perfect for me. But he mentioned it's a crossover episode, so it seemed like it would be my favorite. um yeah, and as Gopher said, he did get confused. I enjoyed the different opening animation
Yeah.
at the beginning. Watching Lower Decks and seeing the intro to that, they tried to replicate that with obviously with the animation style. And what I really liked at the end was
They like drank
when they
the
did the
alcohol from the other timeline.
yeah, and then the show becomes animated. Like, what's going on?
Spock's like
But
my arm can't do this, and it's like all wiggly and long. It was good stuff. Good stuff.
absolutely. Yeah. Uh, so what happens, and I don't think we really gone through the plot too much, is in the future or the future, they the lower decks crew finds the portal. Well, they know where it is. They don't just happen upon it like the Enterprise crew. The Cerritos crew in the future find this portal, and Bradford actually accidentally goes through it. Um, it ends up 120 years into the future for us, the past for him. I was talking to my EPS manager about this, and it does get confusing. I'm trying to describe this to people, but you sort of have to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Um, so Bradford comes in the past. He has to get back into the future. The Orions, who are known for being pirates and stealing things. I don't know. I say that it seems kind of racist, don't you think?
You know, it does. Hopefully, in the future, they don't have those racial stereotypes.
Oh, there is. There is, and you can experience that in lower decks when we watch that. Um, yeah. Obama being elected and then racism. I'm sorry.
So yeah,
Um,
so they have to get him back to the future without him changing anything from the past. Obviously, they play with that a little bit though. I really enjoyed all the moments where like Pike's trying to be stern with him, and then he just keeps praising Pike, and then Pike's just like trying not to smile. It's fun stuff there.
Oh yeah.
Eventually, like halfway through the episode, they get the portal working. They only have enough power to get him to do one time travel. You know, only one person going through it, and just as he's about to go through it, a lady from his era comes back in time. So now they're stuck with two of them instead of just one.
Yeah, Mariner. She comes back and she's the, um, well, Bradford and Mariner are the main characters of
Yeah.
Lower Decks. It's not a captain as we typically seen. Yeah, I was talking to the a lady at Credit Union One about this about Lower Decks and she what she enjoys about the show is yeah.
It just gets like more and more random every single person you're talking to about Star Trek.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking to her and she mentioned she liked Lower Decks because we get to see the what the ensigns are up to rather than
Mm.
the captains. So the yeah, I put up the priority list for the Green Party of Alaska. I used to have I had last year's up on my wall. I don't have
Yeah.
this year's up on my wall. I gotta fix that. But I put that up at the bank and she saw that that we had the one of the priorities was Star Trek, and she really liked that, so she started wearing a pin,
Hmm.
not like this one. I got one
Oh, there
too.
you
Check
go.
it out.
Yeah, a little logo. It's
Oh,
right above us there with the Trek in the Future.
yeah, and she started wearing it, so I got one too, and I got the
Mm.
Strange New Worlds badge.
Yeah, there you
You can't see it well, but
go.
whatever. I got it.
Nice shiny badge.
Yeah. Like we went into this show not really being into Star Trek, and I can say now that I'm a fanatic.
Hmm. I'm enjoying. I mean, I'm loving Strange New Worlds. Haven't seen much outside of that, obviously. Just the movie, and now we got a little glimpse into the animated series. But I'm liking it.
And I gave this episode a 10 out of 10 on
Mm.
IMDb.
Yes. Fantastic episode. Very fun. Very fun times.
He doesn't want to say, I gave it a 6. I was like, "Okay, that's fun." You know, I think it's, I got up really early this morning.
Mm.
I think I woke up at 4.
Mm.
And I did a lot of things, and I think I need a caffeine hit.
You need a bit of a caffeine hit, eh? Look at that. Oh, there you go. Get that caffeine.
Yeah.
Now what kind of caffeine you drinking there?
I'm drinking W, Big Energy Tears.
Big energy tears. And let me ask you something about that. When you bought that, right? When you bought that Big Energy Tears W right there, did you happen to get maybe a bit of a discount on that, perchance?
Yeah, what I did was I went to w.gg, and when I went to the checkout, I put in the promo code Gopher Tuck, not Gopher and Tuck,
Just go for
Gopher
tuck.
Tuck.
All one word. Look at that. You did that, and you got 10% off the order. Which you can also do by clicking that link up there, or if you're watching on YouTube in the description, automatically applies the code GopherTuck, no and, all one word. You get that. You get 10% off all your W products, like Josh did.
I like what I appreciate about W is it
Yeah.
is a powdered drink, so it's not as dehydrating as a energy drink, a soda. I got a free soda yesterday, and then after I drank that and went to work, I was like, oh man, I need water. After that, you mix W with water, so I mean, it's not like 100% healthy. Like I'll be that clear. I am getting a caffeine hit though.
It's
I mean,
much healthier than a lot of other caffeine hits you could get.
yeah, like it's better than drinking a Red Bull.
They get
I
their
mean,
they get the ingredients like
they,
from what was it, fruit?
fruit extract.
Fruit
Yeah,
extracts, yeah.
so it's explained in the back of this tubby of W.
WFW that it contains 30 servings.
See, Yeah, 30 servings. Dubby is a powdered energy drink that replaces other inferior caffeine beverages. It contains zero malto maltodrox maltodroxin.
It
I think
contains
that's right.
zero of whatever
Zero
that bad
filtered,
thing is.
zero artificial colors or dyes or proprietary blends, and
Mm.
I think Robert F. Kennedy Jr. would be happy with that. The star of the show is our coffee fruit extract, which helps you focus with no jitters or crash.
None. None whatsoever. Josh,
Don't see me jittering.
yeah, he drinks plenty of Dubby, and he's not jittering.
I, yeah, I drink Dovey every day, and I was drinking it with this girl, and she said the taste was like a melted slushy.
Mm.
And yeah, I can see that. Tastes good as far
Yeah,
as I'm concerned.
yeah, it does sound tasty, and you can get it
Yeah,
for ten
but
percent off.
10% off. All right,
Good deal.
and Dubby, it's um re- really a gaming sort of drink. Like you're drinking like, oh, I'm ready to game.
Mm-hmm.
Like you I think you run a gaming channel, right?
We're on a channel that's got a few gaming related videos on this channel, a couple of them.
Well, I know a game you play. I don't know how well you enjoy it. Is Trek or not Trek?
Trek or not Trek. So the idea here is Josh will give me three plot lines, three stories for from the Star Trek universe, except maybe they're not from the Star Trek universe. They could be,
Yeah.
or they could be completely made up, or they could be taken from Twilight Zone or something else. And I have to decide, is that actually a Star Trek storyline or not? I get three of them. If I get two right, I win. If I get two wrong, which has happened every week except for last week, I won last week.
Yeah.
That was my first win. If I get two of them wrong, I lose. Two right, I win. He flips a coin to decide whether each one's gonna be actually Star Trek or not. So there's no situation there. No rigging there. Uh, there we go. What are the stakes this week?
Um. See, if you win, you get a sub. If you lose, you get a See if I can even do this. I'm trying to. There's different things on Twitch.
A lot of
You get a
interactable stuff.
TJ screen. How about
TJ's.
that?
There you go. Okay, TJ screen if I get them wrong. Sub. Gifted sub to the channel if I get it right. Okay. Let's
Yeah.
see.
You can see how well I was prepared for that. Listeners
Yeah, it's like
and watchers.
every week. It's like, all right, what's the stakes? And you're like, okay, how about
Yeah, yep. That's how it is.
There
That's
we
how
go.
it'd be. All right, so first episode
Yeah.
or movie. Sorry, got my
First plot
script
line.
here. The USS Enterprise D receives a distress signal from a derelict research vessel orbiting a white dwarf star. When an away team beams aboard to investigate, the crew is ambushed and rendered unconscious.
Hmm.
They awaken in a vast, sterile chamber controlled by a collective of hyperlogical robotic entities known as the Sentients, Syntaxons, a sentient machine left behind by a long-dead civilization. The Syntaxians reveal their purpose to determine if organic life forms are obsolete. Having their, ex, exterminated their creators for inefficiency, they now operate on a universal directive to assist other species. If deemed illogical or inferior, those species are eradicated. The the Enterprise crew is their next evaluation. To determine worth, the Syntaxians propose a contest of pure logic, a chess match, with the outcome deciding whether the crew lives or dies. Picard volunteers as humanity's representative aboard a transparent, glowing chessboard elevated in a Syntaxian central chamber. He plays against their master construct, Prime Unit Car V7. Despite his strategic brilliance, Picard is defeated as the robots prepare to execute their judgment. Commander Data intervenes, requesting a match. The Syntaxian scoff, claiming Data is merely a machine himself. Data counters, yes, but I am a human machine, a creation of organic ingenuity. If I succeed, my victory is humanity's. Intrigued, they accept. The match begins. It's a spectacle of lightning fast exchanges, deep positional traps, and unorthodox tactics. Ultimately, Data prevails. The Syntaxians acknowledge that if they are an artificial being can be imbued with such creativity, nuance, and individuality, the creators must not be obsolete. They allow the crew to leave, warning that their judgment is always ongoing. Back aboard the Enterprise, Picard reflects on humanity's greatest strength is not pure logic, but the ability to create something that can exceed it.
I'm gonna.
What do you think?
I'm gonna go Star Trek for this one. I'm gonna say it's in a Star Trek episode or movie or whatever.
No, I made it up.
Ah, made it up. See,
Yep.
it felt real to me. Is that one that you completely made up, or is it from something? Or
I just wanted I wanted one with chess.
you know, I should have figured, but I mean, I know they have 3D chess in there, so figured there might have been more chess lore in the Star Trek universe.
Okay, so first one wrong.
First one wrong.
All right, here's the second episode, movie, whatever. See, Chief Miles O'Brien is recruited by Starfleet intelligence for a dangerous undercover mission. He is tasked with infiltrating the Orion Syndicate. Oh, the Orions again. You know them.
Yeah, I know them.
a, a powerful and violent criminal organization that might be collecting with the Dominion. Posing as a down on his luck engineer on Ferris Prime, O'Brien gradually earns the trust of the local crime boss, Bibley, and becomes entangled in the operations of the syndicate as as he gains access and he uncovers their plan to assassinate a Klingon ambassador, a move that could destabilize the fragile alliance between the Federation and the Klingon Empire. During the mission, O'Brien forms a genuine bond with Bibley, a man loyal to his family and code despite his criminal life. This relationship complicates O'Brien's sense of duty, especially when he must choose between completing the mission or betraying someone who considers him a friend. In the end, O'Brien's intelligence leads Starfleet to sabotage the assassination, but Bibley is left to face the consequences, likely an execution by the Syndicate. The episode ends with O'Brien returning to Deep Space Nine, deeply affected by the personal cost of his undercover work. Right.
That one's got the personal stakes to it.
Yep.
You know, I'm gonna go Star Trek for that one.
Yep. It's a episode of Deep Space Nine,
Space Nine.
Honor Among Thieves.
It's
And
an Uncharted
obviously,
game.
oh yeah, that's true.
Uncharted.
So, one wrong, one
All
right.
right, all the
This
marbles
one's
here.
for
We have all the
one more.
marbles.
One more.
Every
Alright, I got you
last
there.
marble here. There you go. Yeah, get that W hit ready. There you go.
Yeah, man.
Give you all the stuff and
I'm
such.
gaming.
He's gaming.
All right, third one. In this light-hearted and um, environmentally themed installment of Star Trek, Admiral James D. Kirk and the crew of the USS Enterprise, now on a stolen Klingon bird of prey, are on their way back to Earth to face the consequences of their actions. However, Earth is under siege by a mysterious alien probe emitting powerful signals that destabilize planetary systems. The probe is attempting to communicate with a species long extinct, humpback whales. Realizing that the only way to respond is to bring back whales to the future, the crew travels back to 1986 San Francisco. I can't say San Francisco. Use the slingshot maneuver around the sun. In the 20th century, the crew splits up to accomplish their missions. Kirk and Spock search for whales and meet Dr. Gillian Taylor, a marine biologist. Scotty and McCoy secure materials to bring a whale tank aboard the ship. Chekhov and Uhura search for nuclear power to research the ship's the deuterium crystals. That thing we had last episode of Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. They locate the two whales, George and Gracie, at a marine institute. After some classic fish of water moments and comedic misunderstandings, the crew successfully transport the whales and Dr. Taylor into the future. Back
Hmm.
in the 23rd century, the whales respond to the probe signals, ending the crisis. Kirk and his crew are cleared of most charges, though Kirk is demoted to captain, his old rank, and given command of a new starship, the USS Enterprise NCC 1701A.
All right. So it is a bit outlandish to think that they might have some wacky, made up universe called San Francisco, but I'm gonna say this was a real Star Trek one.
Yes, it's Star
Hey.
Trek or The Voyage Home.
Voyage home. I got 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row
You
with a
did it.
Dubsky after many weeks in a row without one.
Hey, you gotta
Let's see. So last week, the reward was also a gifted sub, and that went to Abdul, our good, well, our pal. I don't know if it's our good pal. Let's not get carried away here. But our pal Abdul got it last week, so we'll see who gets it this week. Robo!
My
There it is. There's the
quivering
pussy. There's the quivering
pussy.
pussy. Okay. He's a good pal. Our good pal Robo gifted a sub, which brings Moose now down to 350 HP. One more sub will murder him
will
violently.
murder me. What?
Violent murder.
How would that happen?
That's just how the bit boss works, man. You got people get murdered. It's
I-
violent every time. Like there's blood
Every
everywhere, intestines are falling out. It's ooh. But there we
I don't
go.
even have a word.
Just
I-
it's just a very violent time. All right. So that
All
was
right. So
Trek or
the
not Trek?
question is,
Yeah. What is the question now?
like, all right, say
Oh, there's some
you go
healing.
into the past.
There's some healing. Thanks for the bits, and Moose is back up to 3,350 HP. There we go. Not quite bleeding out yet. Pat bandaged himself up a bit.
You scared me. You scared me.
He's like, I don't want to die. Oh no. Want to be
Yeah,
murdered?
exactly. Yeah, I think what happened was you're actually future Justin, like current Justin
Little
is
left J.
sleeping right now
Yeah.
or something,
Yeah,
or
he's
he's
actually on that bed
watching.
right back there.
Yeah, you came into the future to make sure to tell me I'm about to die.
He's about to die.
A
It
brutal death
happened.
squad.
I saw it. I did see it. It was excruciating. They sicked a polar bear on you. I don't know where they got one of those, but that's what happened.
Actually, one time I got pretty close to a polar bear. I never seen it, but I was walking home around 2 in the morning, and someone in a pickup uh, stopped by me and said, "Oh, there's a polar bear walking around." And I thought, whatever, dude. And that turns out there was. Oof. So it seemed like the question I was gonna ask is
Yes.
if he went back in time like Bradford and would you do the same thing like, oh, you can't kill so and so, like what about the future, what about right here and now?
I don't know what I would do if I went back in time, because like the butterfly effect is a thing, but also, I mean, how do you know things are going to be bad if you change them? You don't know that. You can change
Yeah.
things; they can end up horribly, they can end up great. Like it's always assumed that when you change something in the past, the butterfly effect consequences are going to lead to something bad happening in the future. You don't know that.
Oh yeah.
And it could be even there was an episode of Family Guy where they did that, the whole change in the past thing. They tried not to, and then they kept having newer Stewie and Brian's from the future coming back, being like, no, don't change the past. And then the next one comes back and they're like, actually no, they should change the past because it worked out better for us in the end. We're from the further future. Then another pair comes back, they're like, we're from the further future. You guys gotta not do this. And that went on for quite a while. So who knows? There's a lot of time in the world. So who knows what'll be the
Absolutely.
best for everything by the end?
Who knows? Or maybe you do because you are future Justin, right?
Yeah, but there's future Justin, so
uh,
he knows even more than I do about what's gonna happen.
you're gonna have to bring this up to Tuck to talk about future Justin. And we didn't even mention past Justin. Or well, actually, I talk about him all the time. He said, "Just call me Snoopy."
Yeah, that is past
Like
Justin. That's
I feel like we should pay some kind of respect to him.
I don't know. I think he should rest in peace after that awful polar bear attack that took him out.
Well, if you don't want to rest in peace, we have a event coming up.
Oh, there's a
Um,
flyer. Boop, there it is.
yeah.
We're right in
So
front of us, but
this
it's nice and big on screen there.
what's in front of me now. This coming Tuesday, say you don't want to die. This this from past Justin and past Josh now, but we're telling if you'd like to increase your health, you gotta get up and get walking around.
There.
And so to all this,
Yes.
this Tuesday there's an event coming up here in Kotzebue. Obviously, fortunately, if you're not here, this
Yeah.
doesn't. You could just be excited for
Yeah.
us. So we're doing this event called the Path Forward, a walkability workshop. Like I said, Tuesday, June 3rd. It's
6
gonna
p.m.
be at 6 p.m. I imagine it's gonna go for 2 hours.
It's at the
We're doing it at the
Youth
yeah,
Center, 815
yep,
Wanda Street. There you go. Pizza and water will be provided. Dude, free
yeah,
pizza. You guys want some
yeah.
free
Manila
pizza?
Cashosi. Yep, free pizza. And you get to participate in a walk audit with us. Say what you like about Kotzebue, what you don't like. Maybe you like that there's loose dogs around and
You
there's
know, it's pretty cool.
friends.
You can
Yeah, it
contribute
was
your
pretty cool.
ideas on a
Yeah,
large community map. Cool, draw, write, imagine improvements. Learn how
yeah.
walkable communities support health, safety, and quality of life. We could use more of those here in Texas.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. When I was there, and even right now, I know it takes forever. Like it's not very walk friendly. Like Seattle, for
Yeah.
example.
Mm.
It'll take you what, maybe 20 minutes to to walk over to a bus stop.
Mm.
Maybe half hour or maybe an hour even.
For
Like
me,
I know.
I don't even know where it's none near me, which is crazy because I live in Arlington, where there's many things
where the,
every
where the,
direction.
where the Cowboys play.
Yes, right next to Globe Life Field, where the Rangers play, which is where I'll be going for All In July, uh, which is also right next to Six Flags. Whole bunch of stuff here, and yet no buses anywhere to be seen. But yeah,
Terrible, terrible public transportation. Like I try to be careful what I say, but I think we're okay to trash Texas. I'm kidding.
yes. You can connect with neighbors, city staff, and change makers working to improve local infrastructure. Explore Kotzebue on foot. See, obviously, I am
Mhm.
not, near Kotzebue. I am very many miles away. But if I was there, I'd be doing this. Sounds fun. And you get free pizza.
Yeah,
And you can meet strange dogs. A lot
yeah.
going on here. It all seems like a good
I like
time.
like a good time. And yeah, this Tuesday, be sure to join us if you are in Kotzebue.
And it's what 2 days before the Nintendo Switch 2 comes out, so you don't got to worry about it interfering with that. You can go to
Yeah,
this walk, and then 2 days later get your Switch 2.
I think you gotta get your I think you gotta get your fix of touching grass.
Yes,
So make sure to come.
touch the grass before the Switch 2 comes out. There you go. It lines up
Yeah,
perfectly.
absolutely, absolutely. And so now I want to get back
Oh,
to Strange New Worlds.
yes.
I wanted to talk about the nature of hero worship and historical perception.
Mm.
As we talked about, Bradford comes back and he's like, "Oh, it's Pike," and they try not to change the past, as we were
Yeah, they're very
talking about.
excited because to them, like these people are all heroes, but these people, they haven't done any of this stuff yet. They
Yeah,
haven't like the what Uhura is that the
yeah, hero.
yeah she's like dog. I don't know, man. I don't know why you guys so into me. I haven't done shit. I ain't done nothing yet.
Yeah, like why? Like, and I went into this a little bit before, but Bradford uses very violent language. Like I'll explain this. Like violent language isn't like go Snoopy, I'm gonna strangle you. What I mean is
Not gonna
it'll
sick a
be
polar bear on you.
yeah, that'd be violent.
Yeah.
I mean in the way that you're amazing. Uh you beat back in 1995, you're a credible gamer. The issue with that is that's me putting using my own meaning making to put this idea or this identity on Justin and say, he doesn't play Tetris well. So if he's an incredible gamer and he can't finish the story to Puru Puru Tetris, like, isn't that some sort of create some cognitive dissonance? And there's a little bit of that here, like, although Pike he does ultimately do diplomatic the diplomacy. It's as I could see, and as we mentioned, it's sort of frustrating for Uhura to be an ensign or not. No, she's a lieutenant now, I believe. She got ranked.
Yeah.
She went up a rank, but still, she's
Yeah,
down
she's
there. And
she's feeling a lot of pressure now because of what they said. Because like, okay, so I'm supposed to turn out to be this amazing, legendary figure, but I haven't done any of that stuff yet, so I have to do that stuff now. Like that's so much pressure on me to have to be that person that I didn't know I could be.
yeah, and you could do, and we don't need we don't need to go 100 years in the past and say, "Oh, Mister Man, you're gonna be this incredible thing." Like he can do use this sort of violent language on someone like that right now, like the thing I said to like my example with Justin, or
Yeah.
if you go to your friend and say, "Oh, you're so beautiful" or something. It's I'm trying to change what I'm doing myself. Speak with ongoing regard. Say like, "Oh, Justin, I appreciate," or it's cool that you finished back in 1995 despite the strange controls, and it shows the dedication you're willing to put in to make entertaining content on your channel. I think that's a much better way to speak, and it invites both of us to transform. Obviously, Bradford and Beckett don't do that. Mariner.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it's good because it shows like why hero worship isn't necessarily good.
Mm.
I,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad. Like in Star Trek,
I,
Pike, Uhura, number one. They're all like good uh, hero figures to have, but sometimes, well, at least for these people, in their own meaning, like Beckett and Bradford's own meaning making stories, but not always true. Like there's plenty of people who like Jesus as a character is, he's really great, but a lot of people who say, "Oh, I try to follow his example." Like I don't think they necessarily do it well,
mm,
but
no.
even I feel like and all people are just people, and I feel like as with Uhura, thankfully Beckett Mariner wasn't disappointed with Uhura. Like she seemed to understand, like, oh, I'm in the past, and it's Lieutenant Uhura I'm talking about. She needs some help, but if you
Yeah.
don't understand that, like, it can become frustrating.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to think of when the I guess a big example maybe who's that lady singer from Iceland who had the mega fan Bjork? Yeah, Bjork.
Mm.
Yeah,
Bjork's a lady.
yeah.
I've never actually heard any of her music. I've just heard the name and like people mention. I always thought it was a guy. Oh.
No, Bjork's the lady,
Hmm.
and she had a mega fan that got really upset that she was dating and gonna marry someone. So he sent her a bomb and ended up
Mm.
committing suicide. But
Jeez. Yeah, that there's an anime named Oshinoko, which like goes really in
Mhm.
depth. Like the first episode's basically a movie. It's like a whole like an hour and 20 minutes, something like that. Um,
Oh,
and it basically goes in depth of like how, especially over in Japan, like how idols are worshipped in a similar way like that, where it's like they can't have relationships publicly and stuff like that because crazy fans will, act like they belong to them, which is insane.
it sounds like pro wrestling.
They did have an episode that was about Hana, what happened to her. So
Yeah, I think Jim Cornette, he gets upset. He's an old time pro wrestling promoter, promoted Smoky Mountain Wrestling,
mm,
Ohio Valley Wrestling. Was on the April Fool's episode of Gopher and Tuck.
he
I
was,
remember that.
he was.
But I think he did get in some hot water when he criticized Becky for getting pregnant. I mean, it
Mm,
goes beyond that. He um, got upset at Chris Jericho in Smoky Mountain Wrestling because he would bring his wife to shows, and
mm.
he would get upset because it would show that Chris like Jericho isn't available, so the lady fans would go buy tickets.
I mean, it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of a similar concept of like keeping kayfabe alive, but with like idols. The kayfabe is, them being cute, innocent women who are all about the fans and don't have personal lives and you know and aren't human.
Yeah, and it's I mean that goes into the real negative like version of like sort of what we see in this show. Thankfully, like I said, Pike and well, I mean the what is Star Trek and people the culture is much better.
Yeah,
They're really optimistic.
yeah.
So
That's why like I always see people like citing Star Trek as the main like science fiction series that's not all like negativity. Like most science fiction, it's like they're in a horrible world where everything's bad, and then Star Trek's kind of the opposite of that, where it's like things are actually pretty good here.
well, I like the Twilight Zone, and I actually, the Twilight Zone is still my favorite show, but there's still a lot of negativity. It's more, I appreciate it for a morality play, but it's
Yeah.
still like, it's more like, oh, here's a, you call what you don't want to do, um, but yeah, Star Trek, I appreciate it because it's a it shows a map of where an optimistic map of where we could go
Yeah.
instead of being a warning of like Alien, like here's what we're gonna do if we allow the military or the military industrial complex to get out of hand. They're gonna make bio weapons.
And it's
Star
it's
Trek's a lot
refreshing,
more optimistic.
refreshing to have a
Yeah.
more optimistic science fiction series out there.
Talking about optimism,
Yeah.
I'm optimistic that Tuck is gonna run his police prison well.
Yeah, we got some tough Thursdays going up. Sort of back and forth right now between that and the trading card game shop simulator. So those are going up on Thursdays, hence the name Tuck Thursday. Um, I'm trying to get through these Pokemon and Split Fiction episodes, get those uploaded. We have so we took kind of a 2 week break on the Baldur's Gate 3 series due to I wasn't available 1 week and then Jeff was feeling kind of sick the next week. Jeff will not be available next week, so we won't be doing one then. But we did one this week. We did record, or we did stream. That's going to be going up the VOD on Sunday, as well as GM mode continuing to go up every Sunday. Excuse me. Jeff and I are going to be trying to stream separately now of the Baldur's Gate 3 streams. Those are still going to be happening, but we're also going to be trying to stream just me and him because Elden Ring Night Rain just came out. The
Oh,
new co-op. See, the issue is right. So it's a co-op game in the Elden Ring world. the issue is it's specifically a 3-person co-op game.
Oh,
Jeff and I are 2 people, so we're gonna have to team up with randos, which you can't really strategize very well with random people. But I
you
haven't.
don't have any other friends playing Elden Ring?
Not really, not really. Um, but so I haven't tried the game yet. Obviously, I love Elden Ring, played through that a bunch of times, but I haven't tried Night Rain yet. I'm looking forward to it though. I don't know
Hmm.
exactly how it works, but I'm intrigued by the concept. And they did say that they're like From Software, that they are exploring adding a 2-player mode into the game. So hopefully that happens sooner rather than later. But yeah, we'll probably be doing some streams of that, alongside the Baldur's Gate 3 streams. I'd also like to get back into streaming Marvel Rivals a little more. Haven't been doing too
Yeah.
much of that lately. Uh, as for what's coming up after Split Fiction and Pokemon with Tuck and I, we got
Mhm.
Phogs, Phogs, which is physics and dogs. That game we're doing the co-op situation there, and we recently started recording Trek to Yomi, which I have been enjoying, having a good time with that. Fun little dealio and cool art style and all the stuff and such.
What kind
Uh,
of game is that?
like a what would it be? Like a side-scrolling. I want to say like a side-scrolling beat 'em up, but not quite. You know, but it's fun. It's a fun experience. Like the gameplay. We also we have this thing we've sort of been sitting on for a while called the inventory. Got a logo and
The
everything for
inventory?
it. We just haven't really I had the logo made by our good pal Ian. Like maybe like
Hmm.
over a year ago now. And we still haven't done anything with it.
Yeah.
But we might get started on that soon. I have an idea for a series that would be under the inventory umbrella, where it is I play every one of the lowest rated games of the year on Metacritic. Every single one of them from the very first year that they have games, which is 1995, the first games that are rated on Metacritic. So from 1995 to 2024, every game they get like 5 years per video. It's like 95, 96, 97, 98, and 99 covered in the first episode, so on and so forth.
Mm.
It's gonna be a little difficult to acquire all of the games, to try. But I have the first 10 taken care of.
What's gonna happen is like you're gonna play these games like wasn't as bad as Shenmue 3. Like,
you know, Shenmue. There is one game that's on. I got the list already compiled. There's one game that we already played, and it's the most popular video on the channel. Soda Drinker Pro. I believe that was the 2016 lowest rated game of the year on Metacritic. So I will be revisiting that, I guess. So I have that idea. Another idea I wanted to do was sort of a role reversal where each episode I play a game of Tuck's choosing, he plays a game of my choosing. Which 100% the first time we do that, he's playing Elden Ring. He ain't gonna like it, but he's playing Elden Ring.
what you gonna do when he tells you, all right, your neighbors are outside, get out there, they got a camera, you're gonna play Red Rover.
I have not played Red Rover in a long time. It's been many, many, many years. But gotta shake off that rust.
There we go.
So there we go. We got a whole bunch of stuff planned. Things are happening.
And tracking the future.
Tracking the future. That's gonna keep on keeping. We're going straight into the season 3 after we're gonna have a 2-week break so that the actual third season of the show can start, and then we'll get into season 3 on the podcast. Do a whole bunch of that.
And the season finale of season 2 will have you playing Star Trek Prodigy.
Yeah, we'll be playing a Star Trek
Ragnarok
video
or
game.
something.
Something of some nature. We'll be playing a Star Trek game for that. That'll be a time. And then we'll keep on going with Star Trek. A whole bunch of it. There's a lot of Star Trek out there. A lot of episodes, a lot of movies.
Yeah.
And we even have, Juneteenth chess stream coming up. Fun chess times to be had. A lot of stuff
Absolutely.
going on. And then possibly in November, a 24-hour stream to celebrate 10
Mhm.
years of this channel on November 24th. Very first video, November 24th, 2015. Super Mario World Episode 1. That was the very first video. And
I think
God,
I think
it
Chad,
sucked.
when we asked ChatGPT about Gopher and Tug, that's one of the few things they got right about the
one,
channel.
one of the few. They did get a lot wrong. They thought that Tuck's name was it Tuck's name was Justin, and then my name was or Gopher's name was like Dylan or something.
Yeah.
Dylan. They were like, hey, one of their most popular playthroughs, Danganronpa. They even listed every Life is Strange game except for the only one that I actually played.
Oh wow.
AI, yeah, you're not doing the job, guys.
Well, yeah, a lot to look forward to on Gopher and Tuck. And so, to get back into Star Trek before we end this week's episode, one thing I felt was really important in this episode was cultural stereotypes and the reassessment of identity.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it seemed like Pike was willing to just attack the Orion ship before Bradford stopped him,
Mhm.
and it sort of what goes into what you were saying earlier before when people consider, oh, what if someone goes in the past and the butterfly effect is they think it's always bad, and him stopping uh Pike from just blasting the ship saved Tendi, and now we get
Yeah.
Star Trek Lower Decks because of that, right?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So there you go.
But
So is that the girl who time traveled, or is that a different one?
no, the Tendi is the Green Lady, the Orion.
Okay, so I will be learning more about her once I finally get into that because I only really got to see two of the characters in this. Although we will be
Yeah,
doing the comic books in the next season
yeah, we will.
of Trek in the Future, so I'll
Uh,
be able to meet the characters that way. I,
yeah,
I opened the
absolutely.
first one just to look at the first couple panels, and I did notice a talking cat, so I'm very happy about that.
Uh, Absolutely. And I hope you're not stereotyping the cat lady. Oh, yeah. I guess for news on this subject is I used to watch Bill Maher a lot, like every week, and he did a podcast with Tim Pool, and I saw him being Islamophobic again. I was like, man, dude, really?
Yeah.
I mean, now that I mean, he always was. I just I didn't take. Well, I think I was a lot more Marxist back then, and I thought, oh, religion is just inherently bad. And now,
Mhm.
like, I can appreciate that people are just different in some sort of way, and um, there's Christian fundamentalists as well. It's it's like in this show, um, obviously they thought, oh, all these Orions are just pirates, so like we gotta stop them. When this guy, he's trying to be a scientist, or well, he's trying to be that I go doing it, stereotyping Orions. The Orion scientist is being an Orion scientist. He's not a pirate, so. But they obviously, the Enterprise crew, or well, at least Pike was like these dudes, these pirate dudes are doing something like, and we needed Bradford there to say, hey, not all Orions are bad,
Yeah, like
and
like my in my timeline, that's an offensive stereotype. We kind of try to curb that stereotype behavior.
actually, Tendi, she has to deal with some racism as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
we'll, we'll we'll get that when we get to lower decks, but something. I mean, I guess an example I'm trying to think of is I'm drawing a blank here. But oh yeah, I've been watching Renegade Cut, and he made the point. I think the guy's name is Leon. I can't remember his last name. That in Star Trek, like all the aliens and all the characters, all the humanoid type characters are like they might be different alien species in that Star Trek universe, but as we watch it, we should just consider like Klingons, Orions as this representative of different people if
Yeah.
they're trying to talk about a subject on the show that the way it's supposed to relate in our world.
Mm.
And it is kind of like that because there and we didn't talk about Star Trek book club. I I thought um it's something we might be able to do, but it seems like trying to do one of these pocket books a week is too difficult, or at least for me.
Mm. And meanwhile,
Like
eBay is just refusing to. Something's happening with mine. They're somewhere. They were delivered at somebody's house.
yeah, and I've been too on the ball with that, so I need to contact them and see what's going on. I well, not to go too into that, but
Yeah, it is a bit much though with like a whole lately trying to read one of those whole books in a week, which is why we got the comic book situation for next season. That should be more manageable.
and we're not just gonna say, well, here's book club, and we're not ever gonna do it again. We might just revisit this, but we might not do a pocket book a week.
Yeah.
Because I genuinely enjoyed going through some of these, and I'm kind of sad that um I stopped in the middle or at like the first quarter of a story and dropped it because oh I got to do a different book this week.
Yeah.
uh, well, we might do that differently anyway. So I think it's well to do some hyping up. What's gonna be next week episode? Not next week's episode of
Let's
Strange New
see.
Worlds.
The eighth episode of season 2, Under the Cloak of War. Captain Pike and his crew welcome a Klingon defector aboard the USS Enterprise, but his presence triggers the revelation of some shocking secrets.
Mm, secrets?
It's
What kind of
shocking.
secret?
They're the shocking kind, as it turns out. A bunch of people in the episodes. There you go. It's a little preview for next week. We got
And
her here. She's on the poster. What is her name? The where's she at here? Where's she at here?
yeah,
Where's she at? Ah, there we go. Ortegas. That's her name. Is. She's on the poster here, so she might have an important role in this episode. Which I like the character. She's a fun one.
mm. And next week for book club, it's Cyber Song. This week, like I said, or I only read one chapter of Ghost of a Chance, and I'll just have to revisit that in the future. But I think I'll be able to read Cyber Song. Not to give an excuse, but I've been doing several courses like with the Walkability Action Institute,
Yeah.
which you can see if you remember from the flyer that we're, we're
Oh,
they
that
give us
flyer.
the idea to do the path forward.
Hmm.
And I finished a book on or a course on the book Rebuild, which is an
Oh.
economics book. It took me all of May to go through that book, so I'm grateful. Like I'm done with that, and
Yeah. Yeah.
right now I'm in the middle of the Daily Stoics leadership challenge, and I'm at the end of week one, and it's a 9 week course. Uh, it was
Nice.
kind of challenging to do. Like with the overlap, I finished the rebuild course, and I'm just starting the daily stoic one for the leadership challenge. I started at the beginning of this week, so um, yeah, just some things going on with me. So um, but I'm looking forward to watching more Star Trek and
Yeah.
trying to read Cyber Song. Hopefully, I do a better job for you for book club this week. Since Justin's my order for Justin has gone astray. It's gonna be up to me. So, anyway, It's been a fun episode of Trekking the Future, and check us out next week on Twitch and YouTube.
Yes.
Everyone, you want anything to say really quick, Justin?
We'll be right here on Twitch at the usual time, and then on YouTube, re-uploaded a couple hours later. So if you miss us live, you can watch us then. Uh, the only thing I would like to say is that I am on a 2-week streak with Trek or Not Trek. 2 weeks, no
2
wins,
weeks.
and all of a sudden 2 wins. So there we go. Live long, do all the things, and we will see you next week.